Welcome, everybody. I'm Mike Heroux, and we are preparing for the Collegeville workshop on Scientific Software 2020 version focused on developer productivity. And one of the things we're doing is interviewing, key people in the community for their thoughts on this topic. And today, right now, I have Noor Fadel, who's at the Swiss Supercomputing Center in Zurich. Switzerland, right? And you have colleagues also in Lugano, right, Noor? And Noor is here to speak with us about some of the core themes in developer productivity. And so, Noor, why don't you just say a little bit about who you are?
So, good morning to everybody. Here, actually, it's afternoon. My name is, as Mike said, Noor Fadel. I did a PhD in applied math. And since 10 years, I'm a software developer, mainly C++, and currently I'm working at CSCS, which is the Swiss Center for Supercomputing. And I'm currently working on PDE PDE solvers, and I'm managing a small team where we are working on different fields.
So Noor, thank you for your introduction. So the four sub-themes of the conference are definitions, and we're not looking for kind of big grandiose definitions, but practical definitions. In daily life, how do you imagine or reason about improvements in developer productivity, or let's say declines in developer productivity, and then take action from that working definition? What are your thoughts there?
I would say I have a very classical meaning for productivity. So for me, it's the rate at which we produce a certain product, and this product should be of high quality. So my idea is there should be something that must fulfill the needs of the customer. And even if this definition is more quantitative, I think behind there are several aspects which are more psychological one. Because we are human. So often as a developer, we are very productive for few time, for example, 1 hour, and then we are not productive for several hours. And in order to keep this productivity very high, there are, I think, some, ingredients that should be considered. First of all, often in the project we are working, I would say the main challenge are I say with 2 words, it's very easy to state the small things, so the details of the project, because in the small details, you will see really the problems of the project. And when you are coding the details, you see if everything is working, is fitting together or not. And often when you are facing these problems, these details, you can end up that you have to rewrite from scratch your architecture. You need to.
So I heard there is an Italian phrase that you use for that.
Yeah, in Italian we always say that the devil is always behind the small things. So that means that you have to take care about the small details, because are not the big architecture that will drive most of the time, but are really the small things that will be time consuming at the end.
Yeah.
And one small rule to avoid to be stuck in these details, I would say, it's very famous idea, is to keep in mind that you must try to be as much as possible simple. So try to write simple things, so in this way also the others could understand them. And also you still have the possibility to take control of what you are doing, because when you start doing, for example, new function in the code, and you add new function, then at the end, not only the others will not be able to understand what's going on, but also yourself, you will probably not remember what you are doing at the end. And another thing I would say that I would say to help this challenge, there are technological tools. For example, I'm very fond of Slack, so communication tool, and there is not only Slack. For example, there is Mattermost, which is open source. So I would say tools to communicate in a fast way, because as soon as you have a problem, it's better to communicate with the others, so you don't waste time. And also you can communicate with the others to understand if somebody else face the same problem, so you avoid to reinvent the wheel or face the same problem losing twice the time. Another point is the more cultural approach, and I've seen this especially here at TH in Switzerland, CSCS. They introduced this culture of failing. Also in Italy, we have the idea that we should never fail. I mean, the best person is the person who never failed. He never did a mistake in his life. I think it's totally wrong, because I'm an engineer and I'm focusing on what is not working. And with my colleagues, what we would like to provide is a product which is a high quality product, so something that works. So if somebody has something that doesn't work, we cannot deliver, and we have to focus on this point. So when they say, oh, you need to prioritize what you are going to do, I think the priority are the issues, so what is not really working. And if somebody has stuck in some issues, it's really valuable to understand which is this issue, because of course it's a person who is fully working on this, so others could help him, or sharing the knowledge, we can avoid that others will stuck in that issue. And also sharing the knowledge, probably somebody else has solved that issue, so he can easily overcome that issue. And I will leave when you have done something that's working very well, I would say it's less important for us, because it's something for people who are selling the product. So for marketing people, I do care on what is not working, or something that is working, but we can improve. And if we can improve and it can be useful for the customer, I would say customer in our case are scientists, it's valuable for us. And another thing I would say, I think another thing important is less important than details, but it's still important, is to be focused during the project. I've seen, especially if you're not working alone, it's in my case, we are working in teams. So often there are multiple people interacting to each other to avoid to interrupt the others. And we have seen the technology, I mean, it's not the technology, it's let's say behavior. If you use the technique called Pomodoro Technique, so the idea is you work for example, 30 minutes, and then you have a time slot that you decide when you want to break. And during that time, you answer to emails, to Slack, to the people. So in this way, you are not interrupted. And at the same time, you do the breaks, because it's very important to breaks, because otherwise if you work for a few hours, at least in my case, I realize I can work for 4 hours, and then I say, but what I have done? Almost nothing. Well, if I can, keep these time slots, I've seen that I'm more productive at the end.
So with Pomodoro, so I think the classic time is 25 minutes. Is that what you use? Okay, and then 5 minutes off?
Yeah. Also, it's funny thing, because when I mentioned this 3 years ago to my manager, he was very happy, and he gave us a present to everybody, and hourglass. It's not a Pomodoro, but at the end it's the same. And you can track the time. I think it's very useful. Also because you can focus on what you want to do. I really like that approach. Another thing I haven't mentioned is I'm very happy of my managers, because are flexible. One thing it's really crucial in projects, especially when you have a lot of people, a lot of difficulties, that during 1, 2, 3, 4 years, the project will change. The small things will change. So the item you have to implement or change will dramatically change from time to time. And it's important the manager should be very flexible to understand that the project is not like the Bible, that you have to stick to that one. because can change based on also probably the needs of the scientists will change, of our customer will change. So you have to adapt the project.
Yeah.
And I think this is crucial.
Yeah.
And
Very good.
last, I would say, thing I would say, it's very important environment. So it's this will recognize to the failing culture. It's better even if somebody did something wrong. I mean, do not stress this point. I mean, everybody is working. Everybody can do wrong things, and if we can maintain a very good environment. The productivity is definitely much better. I would say that since I'm working here I started here 3 years ago in CSCS, I'm super happy working here because there is this idea. So the people are also very relieved of, discussing the problem. So there is no stress. And
Yeah.
I remember in previous experience, they were saying, no, you must be stressed. I think a certain type of stress should be there because you had to be, you had to focus on what you are going to do and on the deadlines, but there's different type of stress because somehow they are trying to make you part of the group. So when they give you one target, is a target that you believe that you want to reach that target. And it's very important that each developer, each worker, when they have their target, they believe in that target, and
Yeah.
so they shouldn't be imposed. This is very,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah. Wow, great comments. Thank you very much. Um, so you've touched on all the major themes that we have for the meeting. Any kind of final last minute comments you want to make?
Last comment, I would say I will stress again the importance of having a very good environment, working environment.
Yeah.
So, for example, in my case, I really like, but I've seen also my colleagues, every time there is a birthday or it's really silly, but I think it's very important to bring, a small present, like, a small chocolate
Yeah.
or croissant, and the people, they laugh. And then if you laugh in the morning, everybody is very happy to work and they want to come to work every day. And we've seen there is a, let's say, a drawback that they want to work so much that often they are working even during the night. And sometimes I
Oh
had
yeah.
to write on Slack, guys, you have your life, don't work, do not work. Well, it happened to me in other environments that the people were forced to work until night. Well, here is the opposite. The people, they really want to work
Yeah.
because they
Yeah.
really feel like a family. And
Yeah.
this I really like. So it's very important to keep this environment friendly.
Right. Very good. Well, thank you very much. These are excellent comments. I appreciate your thoughts and an opportunity to speak with you and look forward to being able to share what you said with the conference attendees, workshop attendees. So thank you very much, Noor.
Thanks for the
Um,
invitation.
yeah, it's wonderful to have you. Thank you.
Thanks.